So we did things like we had videos of lighting matches, lighting a match, or actually, well, okay, this is the thing. It has to be precise.
Lighting a match. Yeah, listen, let me ask you something. Have you ever heard about the bullets that can make curves?
Well, I did work on steerable bullets, but
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
exactly.
when
Those
I worked on it was
exist.
back. Yeah, yeah. Well, they got the idea from me, of course, but a lot of this technology that they're using today, they got from me.
Yeah, I know about this
Um,
technology because I've been, yeah, when I control remote view myself, I go to places where a lot of military doing testing, and I get to know what's going on. And it's been like 10 years ago, 10, yeah, so like I think it's 10 years ago that I've been, I've known about these bullets that can, they follow a kind of certain of laser pointer, right? And wherever you point that laser, the bullet goes after. I don't know if it's like that it works, but just out of
well, I know what I
curiosity.
designed, there, and I'm sure the one that they've got out there is similar to whatever it was that I designed. But yeah,
Wow.
you basically have a sensors in the bullet, and the bullet follows the path of the beam, and if it deviates from that path, then it has an ability to adjust its path by a little fin or something like that.
My gosh. Yeah.
So,
Nowadays, they're talking about that in
but
movies.
but I
Finally,
didn't I didn't do that stuff. All right, I did other stuff.
You're
I
kidding
mean,
me. I'm talking to the guy then. Right. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, guys, just to repeat here, Stephen, just to just give a heads up to the people who are going to be listening to this. This is Stephen D. Kelly, ex-CIA contractor. We're listening to. Okay, Stephen, go on. Head on. I'm sorry.
well, let me just say that I'll kind of cut to the chase. After all the UFO stuff and everything, it got more kind of weird. The CI stuff, more CI stuff happened, more kind of back and forth with those guys. It wasn't completely friendly all the time.
You know where was
And
this happening at the time?
this is all Southern California.
Right.
But anyway, the bottom line is I eventually ran into this dude who was being recruited into the Templars.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
and he was a friend of a friend, if you will,
Okay.
and all these things. He was a Mason. His dad was a Mason, and as soon as I saw what was going on with his life, I realized that this is the same thing that I had been through, and that he was being recruited. I could see that this was a recruiting process going through. So I started funneling information to this guy, right, and started briefing him. Well, he eventually went on to become the trust fund manager for the Getty Museum. Okay, let me let that
Jesus.
sink just a little bit. Yeah,
Let
you
me ask
know.
you just one question. When he got into this, Steven, did you feel that he wanted to get into this or he was kind of ordered to get into it?
Well, they gave him a house, a box of Cuban cigars, and a big ass job that paid a whole lot of money. I mean, what would you do? What would you do? I
Yeah,
mean,
sure.
really?
We are human
Your
beings,
dad
right?
just dies, your dad just dies from some mysterious thing. Somebody says, "Oh, we're sorry about your dad, but you know what? Here's this new house. Here's this box of Cuban cigars. Oh, and we're going to give you this six-figure job for this billion-dollar corporation or foundation down the street." You know what I mean? And he's like, "Wow, this is cool. Wow." You know, and the whole time this is going on, me and my brother and his buddy are going, dude, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. This, you know, well, he followed us. Okay, so he, uh, he didn't just get this job. Okay, he got the job, but he also had to be recruited because he wasn't a Templar. He wasn't nothing. He was just the son
Of
of
a
a Templar.
right, right. He had to
Okay,
achieve something.
he had to know. He had to be initiated.
Right.
All right. The first thing he had to do was he had to read the Magna Carta. Then he had to read about the Templars. He had to study about the Templars, and eventually they sent him to the island of Malta,
Right.
and it was over there that he had to go through the initiation. All right. where he
Did
became a
you,
Templar.
for example, have this initiation in the island of Malta?
I didn't have any initiation. I am not. There's a difference between me and them,
Right.
and I'll explain to you that.
That's very
That's a
interesting
bloodline thing.
point.
All right. Okay. You're right. First, let me just say this: the Templars have one purpose on this earth. Okay, and that is to locate, identify, and keep track of and protect the ancestors or the progeny of Christ and Mary Magdalene.
Yes, that's
Okay,
true.
that's what they. If you know, and that doesn't, you don't have
That
to
is
believe that
completely
Christ
true.
had children. You don't have to believe that Christ had children, but you just have to understand that these people, that's what they believe. Okay, so knowing that,
Right, that's what they believe. Good point. Good point.
yes. So knowing, but anyway, point is that they believe that I'm somebody. Okay, that's what they believe. So they're not gonna. I'm not one of them. Their job is to protect me. Their job is to watch over me. Their job was to locate me, and now their job is to protect me. So if you, let's say, you tried to kill me, they would stop you from doing that. Probably. It's, that's how that works.
Well,
Even though
you
they
know a
may
lot of
be the
things,
end.
and you when you know special, like when you describe the lasers, Steven, I mean, like it's very capable that you're one of the only guys in the world that understands some of the things that you're talking about. Like so it makes you precious, and not only that,
Yeah,
you
dude.
respected. I feel that you respected some of their understandings. You know what I mean? And pretty
Mm,
sure that there are some things you're not going to talk about just to show that respect,
no,
maybe.
I'm not going to say that. That's not true at all. I mean,
Okay,
this is how it is. It's more like the Masons, okay? It's like the
okay,
Masonic thing. It's like having, let's say you got a royal family, okay? And let's say there's a prince, and this prince is going to be king, only this prince is a real asshole, and he's always telling the queen to fuck off,
right,
okay?
good point.
And
Okay,
let's say that this prince moved to Ireland or he bailed or went to America and he's like, fuck you guys, I'm staying over here and I don't have nothing to do with you guys. And they're going to say, well, we got to protect him anyway. We don't really like him. He's kind of the black sheep, but he's still the prince.
yeah, yeah,
And then it's like, but your Majesty, he's saying all these horrible things about us and he's trying to destroy us. It's like, yes, I understand, but we can't kill him because he's still the prince.
sure,
That's kind of what it's like.
sure.
But okay, but that gets to the Getty. Anyway, bottom line is the Getty. Through all this stuff, I found out
This
that that's
guy
where they
that
have
was
this
the
big.
Templar that got into your group, he was
Dude,
this. He
you're
became
not
the
even.
he became the Getty director, right? No,
No, the trust fund director. Trust fund.
trust
That means he
funder.
managed the checkbook for a
Yeah,
billion-dollar
yeah,
corporation,
yeah.
basically. Multi-billion-dollar. It wasn't a corporation; it's a foundation.
A foundation.
Multi-billion-dollar foundation. They gave him
And
the.
this is in
He was running it.
California, right, Steven?
This is in California. Anyway, the bottom line is there's a damn fortress underneath this stupid thing. Okay, that's what it is. A
Okay.
big giant underground fortress. That's
And
the
it's
bottom
not
line.
funny, right? The story that you're gonna tell
It's
right
not
now is not
funny.
funny, right?
Oh, no, it's a big, huge underground city. It connects to all the other big, huge underground cities.
Okay, guys,
It's a
listen,
big
wait,
deal.
listen to this. Listen to what Steven is gonna say right now. Listen, quiet.
Well, as you know, there's these underground bases. They call them DUMBs for deep underground military bases, and there's like 250 of them in the United States. And this is where all the bastards live that are ruining the world. And there's one underneath this Getty Museum, and it happens to be the nicest one of all. And this is where the Queen is going to live when everything goes down. This is going to be her pad. That's why they built it the way they did, like a damn underground palace. And anyway, in their little crystal balls, they went back. They saw that this is where their whole world is going to come down. It's going to be because of this Getty, and because of people marching on this Getty, and it's going to be the end of the New World Order. And they basically singled me out because because that's whatever reason. And apparently, I'm the one that's going to be responsible for telling everybody that they need to go check this place out and bring the wrath of the light of truth down upon these people. And
Holy
and that's going
crap,
to bring
that's
about
very
the end.
interesting.
Yeah, This is going to be the end of the world as far as the dark side is concerned. If you want to defeat the dark side, all you got to do is get a bunch of people
And
to
go into the
occupy the
Getty.
Getty. Well, you don't have to go into it. You just got to go in the parking lot, basically, and occupy it and let the world know what's going on there.
You're kidding me, man. Is there a way out? For example, Steven, do you think they have a backup way out? For example, if a lot of people go
Yeah,
there,
sure.
sure, they do have, right?
Well, when you say way out, what are you talking about? Way out from where?
No, wait. For example, you have this basically you have this underground city under the Getty, right? Beneath the
Yeah.
Getty. So if a bunch of people occupy the parking lot, do they have a way out from these people or not? They have to go
Well,
out through the Getty.
yeah, there's if you go down through the elevator, if you go into the Getty and you take the elevator down into the bunker down below, there's many ways of getting out. You could come out through one of the many entrances located around the city, just across the street at the Skirball Center, which is a Jewish mystical society. They have entrances also to be able to get some. Some of the richer people in the area also have entrances, and if you get down in there, they have trains, you know, maglev trains, whatever you want to call them. They're more like air power,
Yeah.
but they connect these things so they can either go out to Santa Catalina Island, which is right there off 23 miles, 22 miles offshore, and they can hook up to a UFO or a submarine or whatever, or they can go take a trip to Edwards Air Force Base, or they could go to Denver. I mean, they can
So
go
the
anywhere they want.
underground Illuminati trains are real. Are real.
Of course, they are.
I have a video
They're
on
so.
that. I have a video on that.
Anything that-
Steven, I have a video on that with about 700,000 views. It's called Tom Cruise is selling all his properties, and people laughed at the video. But in that video, I made a compilation of people building that tunnel. You know, those tunnels. You know, and that's when things got serious. People started looking at this video and saying, "Wait a minute." Even if Tom Cruise has no relation to this, these are underground Illuminati tunnels, you know what I mean? Another question to you, Steven. What do they do on the Getty underground cities? That's where I wanted to, you know, like my people, these fans from the Impossible Channel, they're going to be like, what the heck is going on? You know what I mean? When you disclose right now what they're doing beneath the Getty, you know, these Illuminati or Templars, whatever we want to call them, right? Shadow government, maybe, right? You've posted so many times on Facebook, and I'm all the time every time I see that, I'm like, what the heck? That can't be true, because that makes my stomach go, So just explain
Oh,
people, what are they doing beneath the Getty, man?
what are they doing down there? Well, anyway, they've got a
How
big
many
city where they
children do
have a
they have
bunch of
there?
yeah, they got a bunch of children down there. They got slaves. It's kind of like ancient Rome, only
Ancient
very
Rome.
modern.
Oh my gosh. Okay, makes a
Well,
lot of
you can
sense.
imagine, sort of like ancient Rome. As far as the slave culture is concerned, it's sort of like that. There'll be a lot of slaves. Obviously, the rich people aren't doing anything for themselves. And they certainly don't have people down there cleaning up after everybody and, you know, getting paid for it. So it's strictly a life luxury unless you're one of the slaves. And the slaves, of course, are for the most part these children. But
Wow.
but anyway, they're ultimately the worst thing that they're doing now. They're aside from stealing all our money and keeping all of our, you know, kidnapping children for slavery, is that they're using them for blood sacrifice, satanic blood sacrifice, and that's really what this is all about.
Right. Where is this blood
Because all
going to? Do you have any idea, Stephen? When you say like blood
their
sacrifice,
mouths,
we have two
and
considerations. For
they
example, we have,
they bathe in it. There's
sorry?
so many of those
Oh,
little children
okay.
down there, they can bathe in it. Yeah. Well, you got to
Why,
remember, they're
why
also.
would they bathe on that? I'm sorry, just to, like,
I'm kidding. Who knows what they do, but you know, the Dracula was into that. I'm sure these royals. I mean, we're talking about royals. You know, you have
yeah,
to interview the queen and ask her. I mean,
personally,
as a
sure,
reptile,
sure.
your lordship, you know, we know that these reptiles, they tend to like to bathe in this stuff. They like to eat it. They like to do all sorts of heinous things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Are you there, Stephen? Or wait a minute. Wait a minute. Well, guys, basically we were talking about the Queen, and they shut us down. But I'm gonna reach him again. Don't worry. This happens often when when me and Steven were talking. There are some things we talk about that no reason, no explanation at all. Skype just shuts down. You know. Wait a minute. I'm calling him. Steven.
Hey there.
Yeah, you know, you were talking about the Queen. They shut my internet down, man. That never happened before. I have a special connection with the server. So basically, it's the server and me. No explanation at all. I'm the only client for the company that I have internet for. You know what I mean? That was kind of weird, man. I had to reset the modem and all. You know, wow, that was kind of weird. That was a message,
you
man.
know what? Who cares, right?
No, now we had to talk about it now we had to talk about it.
Well, I turned the recorder back on.
Okay. No, man,
And,
now after
after
this, I'm pretty sure we have to talk about it. So, the Getty basically is one of the best underground Illuminati, let's say, or whatever. You know, I don't know if we should call Illuminati the name Illuminati. We don't know if it's them, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing, Illuminati, same thing.
Shadow government.
It's all the same thing.
Yeah. You know, the best one for them, it's like kind of ancient Greece you were talking about, right? Slaves and all. Wow, man. And the rich don't. Some of the rich know and some of the rich don't, right? Now, my question to you, for example, you know, these pop stars that keep giving symbols and, you know, like signs, do they know about it, or is it just subconscious? You know, like, what is going on?
They want to be part of it, sure. This is one of the things that they promise you, obviously, is the being able to go down there and be part of this stuff and have an escape. This is where a lot of the certainly a lot of the politicians, you know, they do the stuff they do because they think they've got this great life in front of them, you know, like you take, for instance,
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Obviously, why else would they be pushing for nuclear war? They said, yeah, push for nuclear war. You have nothing to worry about. We're gonna build. We got this. You got this golden bunker. You get to go to. You know?
Right.
So they're like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. They know what's down there with slaves and everything else.
You know, there's a question that people in Brazil and the United States would be very interested in doing. For example, here in Brazil, we have the untouchables. Okay, do you think there are untouchables in the U.S.?
Like, what you mean from
people who cannot go to jail? It don't matter what they do. For example, here we have a lot of politicians that never go to jail.
Hillary Clinton obviously is
one of them.
Hillary Clinton obviously
untouchable. Okay. You said back there, I think about 10 minutes ago, we were talking about you, and you were using a very good example on why they can't touch you. But I'm not talking about that exactly. I'm talking about politics.
They can't touch me. I said it can't kill me.
Right.
Big difference.
Okay. Right. Okay, right. There's a slight difference. Okay, but the thing is, here in Brazil, we have these politicians. They can't untouchable, pretty untouchable. Like they can do whatever they want, steal how much money they want. You know, like, and they simply don't go to jail. Nothing ever happens to them. You know what I mean? That was a question that you just answered. Like Hillary Clinton, for example, right? Donald Trump, no.
Donald Trump is not a criminal.
Okay.
Okay, big difference.
Big difference. Interesting.
He has no reason to be put in jail. In fact, if Donald Trump did something illegal, of course they'd put him in jail.
Right. Interesting.
You know, they have no problem. That's why Donald Trump does it. You know, he's not a criminal. He's not.
Do you think he has access to these underground bunkers or some sort, or he wants this access?
Nah, he doesn't even care about it. He probably doesn't know anything about it.
You're kidding me, man. That's really interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you think he's kind of a humble man? Not humble man, but a man of other interests.
He's naive.
He's naive.
Donald Trump is naive.
Holy crap, really? Oh my gosh, I've never seen Donald Trump as a naive man, but now you're saying it.
Yeah, he's naive.
Okay,
He
and
doesn't know
Hillary
shit.
Clinton isn't at
The Donald
all.
Trump's an average guy who watches football probably and does a little business and stuff like that. He doesn't know anything about this stuff.
Very good, very good depiction of him. Yeah, yeah. Okay. And so okay, let's go back to the CIA and the NSA stuff, right? So